Simon Yilds is the Head of Operations for Cauldron Energy, an Australian-focused uranium exploration company. Simon, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today.
It's a pleasure.
Simon, Cauldron has just completed diamond core drilling at your Bennett Well and Barradale prospects on the Yanri uranium project in Western Australia. What are the highlights from the initial results received to date?
Well, the key learnings we got from this is that the material, the sand material that we picked up in the core, and we had an excellent core recovery, is that it appears to be very amenable to leach from a chemistry point of view and from a porosity point of view. And these are fundamentals in being able to move the project forward. And as we said in the announcement, we now stand at the gateway of initiating the project. And so it's quite an exciting time for us at Cauldron.
What have you learnt about the structure of the uranium-hosted sediment?
What we now understand is there are actually there's an old paleo forest in the area which uranium the wood soaks up the uranium, and what we're seeing is in some of this core is that this material coincides with spikes in the scintillometer readings, which you would see in the announcement. We actually put one of the scintillometer readings in there. So we now understand that there is the potential for a high grade and multiple areas in this area. We're establishing growing areas that have got high grade sand, like unconsolidated sand, which is very amenable, and the chemistry appears, we yet to test it, but it appears to be very amenable. So this area is just growing in size of a very high grade nature, which will have a high recovery of uranium. Given that all our testing works, so the structure and the understanding of the area has grown immensely with getting this core recovery that we've managed to achieve.
The diamond drilling will also be used for metallurgical and leach testing with the aim to upgrade sections of the inferred resource to indicated. When will this process start, and when can we expect results?
Effectively, the process has already started by analysing the core. That core will now be sent to the various people, ANSTO and to Coffee, as mentioned in the report. But the key with that is that this will feed back into the resource process and give the independent resource geologists much more confidence in understanding the direction and the quality of the uranium, and allow them to move a lot of the inferred material into indicated, which then allows that material to be used for in terms of moving that into eventually, once we proved it up financially, into a reserve, and allow it to be recovered through some kind of, we expect, an in situ leach process. So we have to prove that, but it's this testing that will prove that up for us. But it's certainly, all the signs are looking very positive at the moment for that thing. And the process will be complete in about 6 weeks, and that will give the geologists an understanding. So we expect to see a new resource early in the new year that we'll be able to release to market. We'll definitely do a new resource. What the numbers will be are dependent on the testing we're doing.
Now, Cauldron is in the process of finalising a scoping study for Bennett Well. Can you provide us with any details of the scoping study?
Well, all of this data is critical for collection to go into that. The other aspect of that, and we haven't actually initiated yet, but we have the scope of the study together. The other aspect, so effectively we've started the data collection and the analysis, but the other aspect of that is the approvals process that we need to map out to be able to start that process. Then the approvals process is the critical path in most uranium projects. Although for in situ leach, because of in South Australia, there's already been one done, and it's working very successfully at Beverley. and we've got Toro approvals in Western Australia, we see that timeline is coming in quite significantly as from the good work done by Toro and Beverley by the other people in our industry. There's been some very good work done by the AUA over the years in terms of lobbying, and there's a movie now coming out called Pandora's Promise, which I strongly recommend people, especially people doubting uranium, where environmentalists, anti-uranium environmentalists, have changed their stance to be now pro-uranium, because they believe this is the solution now for the carbon global warming issue, because uranium power has no carbon footprint, and as a result, a lot of the anti-uranium activists are now moving to pro-uranium as a solution.
Simon, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Luke.